Hey, hello, Dan Casey, Panic Proof Retirement. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody doing's awesome. I'm coming to you from my studios in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan at the Panic Proof Retirement offices. Today's going to be a good one. Today I'm going to walk you through an actual case study, an actual couple, and some Roth conversions. Of course, the number one question I get, right? Ever since usually like ramps up during tax time because everybody's thinking about it. And then it lasts through a good part of the year here. And I'm still getting people calling and making appointments and just saying, help me with my taxes. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to walk you through, walk you through an actual couple here as we do it. Now, this is my live plan builder that I kind of go fill things out when I'm talking to people. And so we can kind of create the plan as we go. This is a very typical portfolio. Let me get my pen up here. So we've got this up here, the portfolio of 1.2 million, home equity of $550,000. And as we go down here, we've got Mark, who is 66. He's got 195,000 in his 403B. I think this couple were teachers, if I'm not mistaken. We've got a Roth for 69,000 and HSA for 32,000. If we scroll down, we've got a joint here account for $459,000. And Linda here has a 403B of 308,000, a Roth of 90,000, and an HSA of 59,000. Very typical to have, a lot more money in the traditional IRAs, 403Bs, 401Ks than Roths. And of course, a primary residence with that $550,000 equity in it. A couple things I want to point out real quick. Obviously, they're 64 and 66. So Mark's got 9 years until required minimum distributions kick in, and Linda's got 11. So I'm probably just going to join these together, because obviously we take the older person first and start tackling those conversions. But they're close enough where we can kind of loop them all together. And if we do, they've got about 500,000, right? He's got 200, she's got 300. So a little over $500,000. First thing I want to look at here is the software automatically figures out the required minimum distribution. You can see it's going to be about $41,000. And they told me they don't need that. Their Social Security is good enough. This $31,000 that Mark's getting and Linda's getting $33,000. And that's enough. Because you remember, probably from one of my other videos, if Social Security is your only income, it's not even taxable. So to them, Mark and Linda, that was plenty. But unfortunately, the IRS is going to force them to take out $41,000. And as you probably know, it goes up every year. So it might start out at 41,000, but it increases. So that's what we want to tackle. Now, some issues here that I can already see is this guy right here. This taxable brokerage account, $500,000. If you just take an average of maybe 3 to 4% of dividends, interest, whatever, that's of course not selling anything. That's going to kick off about 20 grand right there of taxes. So a lot of times, we'll put some of that money in annuities if they want some safer money. We'll put that in, and that defers those taxes so we can get some conversions done. Makes sense to me, right? But I just said the A word, annuities. Watch out, be careful, because there are a bunch of crappy annuities out there, but there are some good ones as well. So don't freak out just because I said the A word. But that can help. And again, if they want some money safe and they don't want to be all in the stock market, well, then that brokerage account could be a good fit. Because we can stop those taxes, at least during conversion time. Annuities just kick the can down the road. They don't stop it. But a lot of times, if you do the math, if you defer taxes long enough, you get way ahead of the tax man. And then you pay the taxes. It's less because it's accumulated tax-free. Tax deferred technically, but tax-free while it's in there, right? Let me go back to my studio, make sure my audio is still working. I got PTSD because many of these shows, my audio cuts out. So I'm working on that still, but looks like you're still with me. Okay, so on a high-level view, we kind of go through the tax brackets with our clients. Get rid of these notifications. Why isn't that coming up? Of course, when I'm doing a live stream is when things up. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Okay, I don't know why it didn't come up. I apologize. That has come up before though on previous things that I've done, so you can kind of see what that looks like on other streams that I've done. But basically, it's just something we walk through our clients. And let me hide this. Sorry, I'm doing it myself. we walk through with our clients. It's just a tax bracket calculator thing where I can move where your income is. I can see where you are in the bracket. A lot of times, Mark and Linda, I know for sure, we're at the top of the 12% bracket, maybe somewhere in the middle of the 12% bracket, actually, because the Social Security is tax-free. So very low, let's put it that way. So obviously converting up to the top of the 12, that stuff's a no-brainer. You want to do that. But we've got a smaller window here before RMDs kick in. So we want to take a look at that. So that's what I'm going to do now. Let's go over to my that's why that came up, because of my McAfee thing, I bet. Oh, come on. It thinks it's a virus. All right, so I got to work on that. Sorry about that. All right, let's go over to here's my Roth conversion planner. So this allows us to figure out how much should we be converting every year. So let's start with Mark, who is 66. I want to end this at 70. Do I want to end it at 74, because his RMD age is 75. They are married. Beginning balance of the IRAs, I'm just, again, combining them. They're about 500,000, 505,000. Sorry, I had to check on something real quick there. Okay, 505,000 taxable income. That's where that taxable brokerage account's an issue. Kind of our mantra is don't pay taxes on money you're not spending. So if they're not spending that money, that all that non-qualified account or that regular brokerage account is kicking off, then you need to do some other things. But I got to put it in there because it is going to affect our Roth conversions. We've got Social Security approximately at, that was about 50,000. And I know from those two things, we were probably, Social Security is probably, worst case, 10% of that's taxable. Now, how do you find that out? Well, if you go to your 1040, you can see on the left-hand side of the 1040 your gross Social Security. That's